They changed the daily cycle? I mean, I guess. Ugh.
Let's cut to the chase before you.
What's broken has been mended.
My palace is silvering? Hello. What's up, Michael? Nothing much. Just chilling. I wanted to quickly test Cinderella. Ugh. How's the game so far? It's fun.
I'll be your trustworthy sidekick, and the
Man, she looks so good for like the first limited character in this game. Alright, how do our animations look though?
this won't fool me.
Chopped out animations. It's just that this game is really weird with the way it follows characters. I didn't even know she was a gunner. Like, there's nothing to show she's a gunner. I mean, that in my game's lagging. She probably has other stuff, though, like her ult.
This won't fool me. Barely a scratch.
Also, you can do it quickly just for like. Okay, here's the ult.
Is insignificant.
Oh shit. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting that. But yeah, in this game, I think like a lot of people who don't play this game like don't really understand it. The reason the animations aren't as flashy as like some of these other gachas, the combat is like heavily focused on enemy parrying. Like it's you can get out rotations and shit, which I like semi learned how to do so I could get to the second survey. But the combat in this game isn't as smooth as it is in something like Wuwa, or like rotations wise. Enemies will constantly stagger you every single time. Oh, there's a wall. Who's this? This is Cinderella. I think she's supposed to be the first limited character in this game. Let me see some. I mean, the thing is, they're too easy, Blad. The only annoyance is that you kind of need to parry every time it's available. But outside of that, you just learn the movesets incredibly quickly. I forgot to put her in. So I put it in the survey. I hope they increase the enemy difficulty and in turn don't do HP inflation. Don't forget to log into Genshin and get Columbina. I'm good, man.
You owe me a cocktail shaker. Behave yourself, will ya?
Fools belong in hell. Simple.
Oh, there's a second ult animation.
Now it's my shit. Catch your breath. Take a sip and wake up.
The camera's nice until you fight these flying enemies.
You reap what you sow. Your death is insignificant.
Oh, there's infinite ammo when she ults. Yeah, that's not bad.
Out of my way.
Whoops.
Now it's my shit. You owe me a cocktail shaker.
Enemies. You reap what you sow. Fools belong in hell. Barely a scratch.
Yeah, that's not bad. So she gains infinite ammo and the gun shoots faster when she goes into her ult. I don't think the hold skill changes. It felt the same. Silver Palace looks good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, obviously it's unpolished in many areas, but for a CBT1 specifically, I don't think I've ever seen a CBT1 this good. Like, it's actually insane. Like, you guys need to keep in mind, the game's still probably not gonna come out for, like, a very solid amount of time, probably at least a year. So, like, for the problems they have currently, they're kind of minimal. Like, they're so easy to fix. They do really well with the hair, too.
Faster. Riding a horse is quite different than a carriage ride. What a novelty.
The horse has better drifting than Wua bike. Chill, bro, chill. This game is going to be a gacha killer. I mean, pretty easily it could do that, yeah. I could see most people quitting their other open world gacha game for this. I don't know if people would quit something like HSR. I don't know. I feel like what HSR offers and what these games offer are like complete opposites in terms of experience. But this is for sure more of a WUA competitor. And like what is it, like NTE, like Arknights Enfield. Like, this game is competing with those types of games. Holy FPS drop though. I'm on like 20 FPS right here. Yeah, HSR is just really easy.
Towards those who try to stop me. You reap what you sow. Simple.
At your service, matron. Take a sip and wake up.
Out of my way. You reap what you sow. Still bitter about the last fight? I'm always ready for another. Faster.
Are you gonna quit WUA when this comes out? I don't know. This game has more performance issues for me.
Faster.
And also, I still think it's like different enough from WUA, but maybe. It just depends on how good it is on launch. I do like this game more than WUA so far, because at least for now, I think they're going the route of like enemy difficulty and you like parrying being a real thing. While in WUA, I'm just gonna say it how it is, parrying is literally useless. Even though the game has parrying, it is almost damn near useless in terms of just adding anything to combat.
The mount is like revenge. It's best when fast.
So this game integrating its mechanics more and making them matter more is pretty interesting.
Faster.
Capybara needs to upgrade his PC specs. Yeah, probably my graphics card, but it's like I don't feel like upgrading my PC over one game. Especially a game that's literally this early in its life cycle.
Faster.
Like that would mean I'd need it even more badly later on. So this is the first limited character, guys, right here. I wonder if they're gonna do like one character per patch or two characters. Because if it's two characters, they'll probably put the second character in CBT2. I wonder who they'd put there. Yeah, like literally, I was literally eyeing a PC, by the way, guys. Before this entire RAM thing went on, I was eyeing a PC that was, it had an AMD graphics card, but it was like one of the high tier ones. But then also, it had a X3D chip, which are the fastest CPUs for getting performance boosting gaming on the planet. So I was eyeing that literally like a week before the RAM stuff started. I was like, I don't really need this, right? Like, there's no game where I actually need this amount of performance, so I'm not going to bother. And now, there's Silver Palace. Now, the game still won't release for a long-ass time. But, man, I'm probably going to need to upgrade it at some point. Oh, yeah, also, like, right now, I'm on, like, performance graphics, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Like, if I put it on prioritized graphics, does it get any better? Yeah, it's slightly better. But it gets noticeably more laggy. God, she's hot. I mean, the game looks good, yeah. The game has knockout designs from the beginning. I think that's a big issue with a lot of these gachas is like they hold back on the design apartment really early on to the game, and then they purposely like slowly drip better designs over time to get people more hyped. But this game has a knockout design just from the off the bat, which is kind of crazy. Oh, Kumar. Oh yeah, if your device is already struggling to run Wua, it would 100% struggle to run this even more. Just from my personal experience. Like even the worst case scenarios for Wua for me, which are like some places in Lahai Roi and Septimont, it just doesn't lag this much at all. It's not even close. I mean, obviously this game looks better than Wua in a lot of aspects. So it, like, makes sense, but so tomorrow I get 5,000 of these. Her best in slot partner is this 4-star in the exchange. Yeah, this one right here. She has Fusion Red Shred. Oh my god, I'm using Wua terms now, dude. All these different gacha games. In this game, it's called Ignia, the fire element. So she has Ignia Red Shred, and then she also has Vulnerability. Can't believe all the Sora AI of IDK Sterling shitting on the bed is the reason I can't buy a new PC. Yeah, like, it's so annoying, right? Like, I know I'd hate it less if I actually used it, but I legit don't use AI. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't use ChatGPT. I've never used it. The only time I use AI is when I search something on Google. For some reason, Google just added an AI overview whenever you like search up something, and it's the first thing that pops up. That's the only time I've ever used AI in my life. It's like I had no idea people were relying on it this much, to the point where fucking RAM is getting to the $1,000 for me. Like, are we serious, dude? So it just absolutely blows for me because I've never had to use it, but I'm being affected by it. It's like,
Keep the income flowing. We'll need it someday.
do you plan on checking out Enfield when it releases? Sorry if this has been asked before. When is Enfield releasing? I don't know.
A tidy sum.
Maybe.
Let's update the ledgers.
The 22nd? Oh, so in like a week and a half?
than a carriage ride. What a novelty.
Is Cinderella fun to play? Yeah. Enfield, I'll probably give a shot, but I don't know if I'd play Enfield long term. Would you rather deal with Sora AI IDK Sterling ops for a week or deal with 100 Kuro shills? IDK Sterling. Kuro bots are genuinely brain dead, dude. Like, I low key, I haven't said anything about this entire topic because I'd seen it blowing up recently. But, like, no offense, they copied at least a few things off of Cyrene. And I will refuse to believe otherwise. There is just, like, at first, I thought it was stupid. But then I saw the drip market, and it said, what was it? Destroy destruction or something like that? It's like, bro. Like, are we serious? You can get away with the pink hair. You can get away with, like, the heart motif shit. But, bro. Like, really? You guys can feel free to disagree, but, like, come on, man. It's just way too similar at that point. Actually, let me check Amez drip market just so I can, like, specifically remember what she said. It was something about destroying destruction. Ameth. Yeah, I destroy all that seeks destruction. Like, dude.
Faster.
Like, the entire point of Cyrene and her entire story through HSR and, like, Phaedon and shit is fighting destruction. Literally Nanook. I'm fine with the, you know, the design thing. Oh, it looks like Nanami from PGR, even though Nanami, from what I've seen, didn't have anywhere, like, she didn't have pink hair. She didn't have the heart motif, but whatever. But, like, this destruction thing, it's like, bro, like, there's just no way that's a coincidence. I refuse to believe it. Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with, like, you know, like copying someone's homework and changing the answers if you do a better job. I've always said this. I'm fine with gachas copying to a certain extent, so long as it isn't like a one-to-one copy and it's better than the previous thing, right? Like, Augusta is easily one of my favorite characters from Wuwa, even though I'm fully aware she takes inspiration from Mavuika. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, like, people are in complete denial that there's any similarities. But it's just obvious, dude. Like, unless you're trying to be completely in denial, like, it's just so obvious. There's no way it's a coincidence. It's not like Hoyo doesn't steal, too. I've seen a bunch of posts of, like, Hoyo stealing, like, poses and stuff from other games. And, like, translating them into their own for drip markets. Like yeah, they... Like, Ameth does look like her own character. Like, this is what I'm saying, design-wise. Outside of the pink hair and, like, heart stuff and, you know, all that, I do think she looks completely different from Cyrene. But the destruction thing is just, like, Cyrene's entire thing. Like, that's the entire point of Amphorius, is going against destruction. You're telling me it's a coincidence that the girl with like heart love motif, pink hair, also wants to destroy destruction a few patches later? Like, come on, man. Is E2 Siren gonna be good for Elation? I mean, no. You can use E2 Siren for Elation, though. Like, at that point, her buffs are good enough. But she's not at all tailor-made for Elation. She'd still probably lose to, like, Yao Guang. The thing you guys need to understand with Elation is that, like, Yao Guang's buffs aren't crazy. Well, they actually are for Elation damage dealers, right? But even outside of that, the more Elation characters you have on your team, your damage just increases exponentially. Because not only do you have, like, let's say if you have 3 Elation characters, every time a Ha instant takes a turn, 3 characters will do massive ass damage. Right? Like, they are even incorporating the Elation support to do significant amounts of damage. And then also, the more Elation characters you have, the faster Aha becomes, which means even more damage, right? And with Yao Guang, that means even more SP gen. So, Cyrene just doesn't fit with Elation. I'm sorry. It's probably usable. I'd say it's usable, but it'll be noticeably worse than the actual Elation characters in their teams. It ended up being like a Sunday situation, right? Like with a majority of these Amphorius DPSs after they got Cyrene, using Sunday is like a noticeable drop-off. It would be the same thing, right? Like the character still has value as a general support, but that's it. I haven't played Uma Musume, so I don't know. Pulled Columbina in 74. Then 2 copies of Inefa and 110 pull. Let's go. Nice. Insane luck. Especially in Genshin of old games. That's the one game you really want to be lucky in, because pulls don't come around that easily. I'm skipping until Yai comes out. Yeah, Yai is for sure going to be really strong. I can't wait for her. I've been waiting for so long at this point. I've been speculating about her being the Annie unit since like 3.4, I think. I think it was 3.4 where I started predicting she'd be the next one. Holy leg, man. Put me back on fucking performance. Ultra performance. No, guys, I don't play that many gacha games. It's too much. Isn't Carts S4 like kind of underwhelming? It's probably a good thing that you lost. We can't see the gacha right now in CBT1. That they don't have the gacha implemented. That means they're probably still working on it. Can a JP character be in any unit with the current situation? Yeah. It doesn't really matter.
Faster.
There was already a leak that apparently they changed Yai Sakura's name to Cherry Blossoms just to bypass this entire JP thing. So yep. What the? Yo, I'm stuck. Yo, I'm dead ass stuck.
You reap what you sow.
There we go.
Enemies.
Step Maru. After this, I'm gonna finish a manhwa, which I'd already almost finished. And then I'm gonna watch the rest of The Seventh Prince, because I left it off a while back. I read the entirety of the Chain Soldier manga recently. Oh, nice. I'm curious, do you think Cartethia S3 is a solid investment over saving a guarantee for a new character if you have Dracona plus Sig? Yeah. S3 Cartethia is like, I think it's like near her S2 if you do the right rotation. If you don't change your rotation, then the S3 is like the biggest jump, I believe, or near it. No, I'm not watching the anime. I'm just getting spoiled the anime of Fate through like TikTok and Twitter and the bajillion Francesca arts that I've been reposting. Hey, I read the entirety of the JJK manga. Okay, chill. I'm not like those leaks guys that literally just waited for Miyamura for the fucking bajillion mistranslations and then wondered why they got the fucking story wrong. Did Lene banner already end? I think on NA she has like a day left or something. Yeah. Would you ever play Sekiro for the game with the most skilled parry mechanic? I mean, dude, it's just too many games, man. I'm not a solo player guy. I'm really not a solo player game guy. I have to take my time with those types of games instead of rushing through them. Like, my entire life, I've just been like a multiplayer competitive gamer in those types of games. Like, gotchas in the first place were like a huge transition for me in terms of what I usually do. I'm wondering if they'll add more standard 5 stars because it's weird if Cynthia is the only one, considering the only other 5 stars are the MC and Cinderella, who's obviously going to be limited. Isn't Cynthia a 4-star though? Oh wait, character exchange. Oh no, she is a 5-star. Oh wow, I didn't even notice that. I thought she was a 4-star. No wonder her kit actually had like decent buffing. I was wondering, like, Argos gives healing and only like up to 10% vulnerability. She gives red shred and vulnerability. I guess she was a 5-star this entire time. I didn't even realize. Where do you think AMS going to be meta-wise with her best-in-slot team? Power creep the whole game or Zanny card tier? I think she'll power creep for sure. Given the early leaks, she should apparently have 2 different types of teams. One where you can specialize on her Toon Break with Lene Mornai. And then the other one, apparently it's been leaked, a new Echo set, that we will get a Fusion Burst sub DPS soon, because there's a new Echo set for that in 3.1. So that means she'll get what I'd assume is probably Sigrika as her Fusion Burst sub DPS, and then Chisa as her 3rd slot for the negative status way of playing her. So she has 2 different teams, a negative status one and a Toon Break one. And to be honest, I could easily see both teams being stronger than Zanny and Cart. Like, it really isn't that hard. You guys need to understand, like, among the, like, top 3 or 4 DPSs in, like, 2.x, if you don't include Quick Swap, right, and you just look at, like, obviously you're in the top, like, 95% of players probably, like, most of these DPSs are already close. They're, like, 1.8, 1.9 million damage per rotation to like 2.1 million, which is Cart, and is at the ceiling. It's usually when there's a new version that it increases more. So I'm saying like 2.5 million, 2.6 million when it comes to AMF. I mean, have you seen her weapon, dude? It's 16% fusion res shred on a weapon. Like, ignoring the defense ignoring the fact it's a limited weapon so its base stats are stronger, ignoring the damage bonus, the res shred alone is enough to make a character do like nearly 20% more damage. The weapon is busted for her.
This won't fool you. Your death is insignificant.
Are you liking Silver Palace so far? It's pretty good. The only thing that's really rough around the edges is the camera when fighting, and as well as some of the combat fluidity. But outside of that, pretty solid. Also laggy. Wait, what? Yeah. 16% fusion reg shred on the weapon. Combat does look a little janky, yeah. I think for a CBT1 though, it's really good. Like, if this were like near launch, I'd be like significantly more critical. But because it's a CBT1, this is already better than like 99% of other games CBT1s. How high are the requirements for this game on PC? Yes. Yes. That's all I'm going to say, yes. I want to put it in perspective for you guys, right? I saw on the Silver Palace Reddit, someone had an RTX 2070, which keep in mind is stronger than a 3060. And then they had a Ryzen 7, I think 7700X, right? And the game didn't let them play because their specs were below requirements. So, yeah. Y'all funny if you think her sig will remain like that. It's gonna remain like that, Uni. I'm putting money on it. It's gonna stay like that. I knew they'd eventually follow up on Chacona's signature for like a main DPS. I was honestly confused they didn't do it earlier in 2.6. But doing it for the first DPS of 3.x, it makes sense. That shit's staying, man. Of course, they could like alter it maybe a little bit, like they always do with SIGs during the beta. But I don't think that red shred is going anywhere. And I don't think it's going to get heavily nerfed either. Maybe by like a few percentage. But that's like the max in my opinion.
A mount is like revenge. It's best when fast.
Do you think Silver Palace is going to be a big hit in terms of gacha games with mobile into consideration? Mobile, I can't speak for mobile, dude. This game is so goddamn intensive. Like, there's already people complaining about WoW on mobile. They'll complain about this more on mobile, probably. Because this game will definitely have worse optimization when it releases. So I think the mobile market, it's going to be, like, highly targeted towards people who have very, very high-end mobile devices. But I do think as, like, technology progresses and it becomes more normal for someone to have this game's required spec requirements, this game could just so easily compete with the rest of the space. Like, so easily. Like, you guys need to understand the main pull of this game, because keep in mind, I paid attention to the story, right? I made sure not to skip anything. This game's, like what entices the player is the story, the aesthetic, the character designs. Even if the combat has its issues, and there's FPS issues as well, dude. Also the enemy design, some of them go hard as well. This game has a lot going for it right off the bat. I'm not gonna lie, a lot. You get to step on others as Cinderella, or is she only stepping on you as a boss? I think she steps on you when you do your intro equivalent in this game on the enemy, but that's it. There isn't like an animation for it or anything. She's actually a gunner, which is like, you don't, do you see any guns in her character screen actually?
Has been mended.
No, you don't. You don't see any guns in her character screen. You also, I believe, don't see any guns when you fight her. But she has a gun mode, similar to the detective over here.
Let's cut to the chase before you
which like kind of caught me off guard. And when you use her ult, you basically get infinite ammo and increased fire rate for a short period of time. And she has 2 ults actually. I love her fire hair, dope as hell. Oh, for sure. It looks so cool. I can do a Cognito again so you guys can just see her animations. Let me see. Before you guys ask why I'm running a 2-man team, this game has a lot of elements and different roles for characters, so it's hard, like it's genuinely difficult to find a matching partner that can synergize at all. It's only this Argos guy because he's a general healer who can apply vulnerability.
You owe me a cocktail shaker.
Does the game have 4 stars? Yeah.
Sorry to spill the drink. Catch your breath.
Out of my way.
Yeah, like right there.
Belong in hell. Barely a scratch. Barely a scratch.
Now it's my shit. Take a sip and wake up.
Are the 4 stars good? They are the greatest as compared to other games in terms of like buffing capability, but compared to the 5-star equivalent in this game, which is like Cynthia currently, they aren't bad. They're like half as strong, I'd say.
Enemies. Barely a scratch.
But yeah, you see how important parries are here?
Scratch.
Catch your breath.
Your death is insignificant.
Aw, shit. That took too long.
Simple. You reap what you sow. Barely a scratch. You reap what you sow.
Now it's my shit. You owe me a
Ah, no
cocktail
way I
shaker.
missed that.
Enemies.
Oh shit, couldn't see him.
Your service takes
That's why the camera needs work.
Fools belong in hell.
No way people look at this gameplay and think woo a killer. Well, the thing you need to keep in mind is I'm only using 2 characters. Like the rotations are way smoother than this if you were to use like a full team. and also like obviously leveled them, because these characters are only like level 20 or 30. Like the combat isn't gonna look this low. But yeah. Because I'd assume, at least temporarily for Cinderella, who you'd want to pair with her is Cynthia. So you want Cinderella, you want Cynthia, and for the current available cast, you'd probably also want Argos. But you're kind of missing like another slot on the team, because this game has 4 characters per team. And then you could probably do just like completely smooth rotations. Rotations in this game would be longer as compared to WUA, if I had to guess, though, for sure. Because, I mean, the game has 4 characters. When does this game come out? No idea. We're just currently in the closed beta. First closed beta, too. There's going to be another one in the future. Closed beta 1 players, if they do 2 surveys, get guaranteed into the second one, which I already did from clearing Deep Cognito Floor 7. And then after that, I don't know, maybe they'll do like an open beta or another closed beta, who knows. Is Cinderella a 5-star? Yeah. She is a 5-star. I mean, when people say kill a gacha, I don't think they literally mean like the game just goes EOS and like everybody quits it. But I do think that this game, for what people are looking for, it competes with WUA. I feel like a lot of WUA players would absolutely love this game for what it stands for. And that would cause like tension between which game do they play. Or they just play both. Like, that's also a thing. You know what I'm saying? But most people will usually limit how many gachas they play at a time. And I think this game not only has the graphics of WUA and the potential to end up having better animations than WUA at some point in combat, it also has way more interesting story. Yeah, there's no info on the gacha currently, Uni, at least officially. But what I saw scrolling Twitter is that apparently someone data mined, like this game, and the current placeholder for the gacha is the same as Wu was. For the weapon banner, we don't know, but the character banner is the same. So it's max 80 pity with a 50-50 on the character banner. Which is unfortunate. I already put it in my feedback that I hope this game actually puts guarantees, or because currently there's no dupes for characters. I don't know if that's because there's no gacha, so they didn't want people to use dupes, or if there really will be no dupes. But if there are going to be dupes, which like 99% case scenario they are, because they want to make more money, I asked them in the survey, at least make the first copy of a 5-star guaranteed. Yeah, exactly, Uni, exactly. Literally just as you said it. Make the first copy of a 5-star guaranteed, and then if people want to chase dupes, then they have to deal with 50-50. Because, like, I see this, like, this sentiment. It happens so often. And even somebody commented this on my, my community post, giving my first thoughts on this game after a day. They were like, there's no way they can make a guaranteed banner and still profit off of the game, right? Like, they need it to be 50-50. It's like, no, you really don't, right? Like, Bleach Soul Resonance has guaranteed on the character and weapon banner. And keep in mind, pull income is basically the same as Wu was, with pulls having the same value. But, like, guaranteed character banner, and then the weapon banner is also guaranteed at 40 pity, right? Insanity. And Bleach Soul Resonance recently overtook Genshin in CN for sales and, like, popularity. Like, are you really going to tell me you can't succeed with a guarantee? I think that's just a lie.
Faster.
I mean, I don't know, Uni. They could make dupes more broken, but, like, I just don't think they need to. I think in this game, what I'd prefer they do, instead of going the HP inflation route and making dupes like the most broken thing on planet Earth, which they still can do, right? But just don't do HP inflation. If anything, just maybe make enemies more difficult, and so a character with more dupes just bruises through it easier. Like, that would really be the best case scenario. Because that's what I'm hoping this game does. I put it in the survey as well. The combat is too easy. As you guys saw, against my fight against the Harpy in that Cognito, dude, I parried almost everything, okay? Like, I haven't been practicing. I've just been playing the game. I was able to parry almost everything despite the shitty camera work, right? So it's, like, so hard to die in this game because it's so easy to adapt to the enemy movesets. I hope they make enemies more difficult. Yeah, BSR gives more rewards from their paid stuff. Like, monthly pass gives 3,300 Jade in total, while in other games it's usually 3,000. So it's like a difference of 2 pulls. But then the battle pass is, like, insanely valuable as compared to other games. Because of the stamp keys, I think it gives a total of, like, 13 or 14 pulls or something. Limited. Can you try a full team? Even make them vibe based? I'd like to see a proper gameplay looks like. The thing is, I don't even know how to play a proper team right now. I've just been using this Argos guy. I mean, sure, I could do it. Just so you guys can get an idea. But there aren't enough characters in this game to currently make like a complete 4-man team in this CBT1 that actually synergizes. I think Alf might be a sub DPS possibly, and because Cynthia puts Ignia Res Shred, which is the flame element here, plus vulnerability, so you could use her. Wait, I actually haven't read this woman's kit. She could possibly be supportive too. Wait, whoops. Alright, so it looks something like this. Let me read your kit. I forgot that I got her from finishing the story.
Death, on the other hand,
You are
has been a true
a sustain? Shielding? Maybe? Given your... Alright. Passive skill. When her HP drops by 70%, her skill's second heart gains buff of X plus 50% increase attack by at most 500. Switch and performs a charge at the enemy, unleashes an attack combo. Firtho uses AoE damage parry, block. Okay, skill. If you long press it, further revs the pump, expending her own HP. So she just eats her own HP. She doesn't actually buff anything. Release. 1 hit of AoE damage. Oh, here it is. Grant the entire team an attack buff based on the number of buff stacks in Firtho's current HP. For every 100 HP lost, each buff grants attack +1. Each buff stack grants up to attack +125 for a max of 1,000 attack. Yeah. So this is probably the most optimal team I can get, theoretically. Sub DPS, Firtho and Argos until Cynthia comes out. Oh yeah, the character UI is really cool.
Take a sip and wake up.
Oh shit. I thought I was playing Wuwa again, my bad. I forgot what the parry button was. Man, at this low of a level, it's so hard to get enough.
Prepare for surgery.
Shit. Brother.
The anatomical structure is evident.
Burn it all down! All fueled up and ready to roast. That was close. Super cleanup. Your death is insignificant.
Probably don't actually need to do that many shots, but...
Now it's my turn. You owe me a cocktail shaker. Catch your breath.
Oh, switch into the wrong character. Oh. Oh.
Commencing emergency surgery. Burn it all down. Whoa! That was close. Flamethrower ready. Whoa! Enemies. You reap what you sow. Simple. Fools belong in hell.
Do Encore and Bernice hybrid.
Beg me for mercy.
There we go. So obviously it isn't smooth, because some of these characters are literally level 0 with absolutely nothing on them. But yeah, like as you can see, you have like more stuff to consistently do when you actually take full advantage of your team, as compared to just running 2 characters like I was earlier, because honestly that's more optimal with how low level I have these other guys. I imagine with full teams, especially ones that synergize, this game would like the rotations would be significantly smoother. The one thing I will say though, I think some people might struggle with the gun aiming, because like even though there's a bit of aim assist sometimes, at other times it'll just completely turn off. So some people may struggle just from not being able to aim as well. At least for the gunner characters. How you liking this? Oh, hey, Sino. I'm liking it quite a lot. Really, really good potential, especially for CBT1. It has its flaws, like the camera work, enemies just flying up and you can barely see them, so it's hard to parry. But outside of some of the minor things, it is really, really good. Story is really good. Presentation is amazing. Animations and character design, I mean. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yep. Yep. Just taking a quick sneak peek. I just hope the gacha is good, so I don't have to go broke. Some don't really consider Pokemon TCG a gacha, I guess, even though pulling packs is the same thing. Horse drifting? Yeah. It's one of the most fun things to just do. Oh, how am I going to turn so fast? Bam.
Fast.
Achoo! Imagine if they actually had... to be honest, I could see them adding the horse racing as like a permanent event. Or just an event that comes often. Because it's a really big part. Like, low-key, that would be fun. Add some horse racing. Oh, shit. No! I heard someone got like a fire version of this horse, and I genuinely don't know how. Like, how the hell did you get a fire version?
Broken has been mended.
Because that would go sick with Cinderella.
Faster.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard for this game to become Wua level. It'd be hard for it to become like HSR or Genshin level, though. In terms of like popularity and sales. Wua level is perfectly attainable for the quality this game is at, though. Like, you guys need to understand, if you compare this CBT1 to Wua's CBT1, like, the potential this game has for it being this early on in testing is insanity. Wua was very scuffed in its CBT1. Very scuffed.
Faster.
It's more like Big Two and honorable mention. Yeah. Like the thing is, I don't know. I feel like I see Woowa, like Woowa's so popular, like on social media and stuff. But when it comes down to the sales, it just doesn't make as much as the other ones. Like not even close usually. Even on Woowa's like biggest selling patches, it just doesn't compare really. Like it probably competes with like a filler patch in HSR. When I went to Japan, the amount of Woowa merch was so small compared. You think it might be like a West thing, Uni, then? Like it's just the West that like hypes up Woowa as much as they do? Or maybe that's just from me being in the CC space, so I just see more Woowa stuff. You can't even say ZZZ is the big three. ZZZ made less money, I think, than Woowa. Like in the last year. Like ZZZ isn't really there either. They're like also kind of an honorable mention. It's like ZZZ and Woo are like on the same level, and then Genshin and HSR are like in their own tier, basically their own realm. Yeah, there's really only a big two, I'd say, currently. Oh yeah, gacha isn't anywhere near as popular. Like it's way more popular nowadays because of like the introduction of Genshin and stuff. Like it's gotten way more popular in the West and stuff as compared to Asia. But they still don't really come close, I think, in terms of like how normalized it is. I just don't think it's close. Like, people still have a deep hatred for gacha in the West, like a majority of people. They don't want to play gacha. Like, imagine playing a game for like a month plus. You lose a 50-50, you've gotten nothing new on your account after a month. Like, people hate that, man. They really do. That's like a common sentiment, which has sense in it. It makes sense. It's also like so expensive to afford characters too. Like if you want to guarantee a character in a game that has a 50-50 system and the same like currency selling as like Woowa and Genshin, like you're spending upwards of $300-400 to guarantee a character. Like I talked about this before, but while the Christmas sale was going on Steam, dude, I could afford like 4 to 5 of some of the best video games released in the last decade, and it was like I think 100 something bucks or near 200. And the amount of gameplay I'd be able to get out of that is just way bigger. Oh really, Uni? Well, yeah, you could make the argument that maybe Woowa is on the level of, or like near it, for PC bros as compared to mobile ones. Because if we're all honest, like, compared to HSR and Genshin, Woowa runs so much worse on mobile. Right? So comparing mobile sales might not be the best, but then again, the lead HSR and Genshin have over Woowa mobile is just too substantial. I just don't think even with PC they compare. Like I remember seeing the yearly sales for all the gacha mobile games. It was like Woowa at I think 160 million. I think ZZZ was somewhere close. And then it was like Genshin at 350 plus million. And then HSR at like 400 plus million. Like, it's just absolute insanity what those games make. Oh, a chest.
A tidy sum. Let's update the leg.
Yeah, HSR is literally made for convenience. Like, it is made for it. It's always going to have that plus going for it. That's why I don't think HSR will ever die. Like, people are always like, oh, HSR is going to flop from a new path, more predatory Lycones and shit. But, like, people just don't understand, man. It's, like, so convenient. And they just keep adding more in QOL, right? Like, HSR is not afraid to continue adding more and more and more QOL. Even if, like, nobody's really asking for more. They just add it anyways. Like, I believe in the... I saw something literally this morning when I woke up on the leaks Reddit for HSR. They're, like, planning to rework the daily assignment system to be even more concise and clean. And, like, easily understandable to people. Like, the shit that nobody would think even needs QOL. They just add QOL to. They like their player base being lazy.
Riding a horse is quite different than a carriage ride. What a novelty.
Oh yeah, the 4 substat? Yeah, that too. Which they recently did for Genshin as well. We can now just preview the 4 substat on a relic, so we no longer need to +3 it anymore to see what it has. Hot take, I think it's because Genshin has way more compelling characters than WoWa. WoWa could have all the style and stuff, but Genshin is leagues above in the character department. I mean, even WoWa players know this. Like, it's not really a hot take. If you go outside of the people that, like, blindly defend WoWa, I see this all the time on WoWa Reddits. Like, people are genuinely getting, like, up to here. Like, their limit is close for how, like, irrelevant characters become after their patch is over. Like, this is such a thing that, like, people are genuinely rioting about at this point on Reddits and shit. They absolutely hate how characters are, like, they seem super important, right? Like, they bait you. When it's their shill patch and they're releasing, they look, like, super important to the story. But then they just disappear after that. People are absolutely hating on the game for that. When people glaze WoWa and its story, 90% of the time they don't realize they're just glazing the presentation. They aren't glazing the actual substance, most of the time. Which is understandable. But it's like, just like Uni said, and just like I've said this a long time ago, it is very similar to solo leveling for WoWa, right? Like, the art style, obviously the better graphics as compared to a lot of the Hoyo games, also, like, a little more realistic, animations, like all that, right? The characters look cooler. They sometimes feel more fluid to play as well. They're just a lot more flashy, and they are presented better in game and through, like, drip markets and stuff. So people obviously like that. Yeah. That isn't to say WoWa's story is literally non-existent. It exists. And it has its own, like, you know, complex things. but it just ain't on the level as compared to a majority of these Hoyo games in terms of lore depth, in my opinion. Yeah, like Wuwa will never suffer because of its like mid story. Like they won't really suffer for it. I mean, obviously it'd be better. It'd be like perfect if they also had like Hoyo levels of actual like story depth alongside their storytelling and how good the game is. But like just look at Demon Slayer. Like Demon Slayer is a perfect example of like mid story with fucking amazing presentation and animation, and it just does insane numbers. Like I believe Demon Slayer far and away has the most manga sales in the last decade, just from the anime popping off.
Faster.
Solo Leveling also won, I believe, like anime of the year last year, and it's the most watched anime throughout the entirety of 2025. Oh yeah, Uni. That's why I've literally been begging for them to make an HSR anime. Like if they made an anime, I know the storytelling and animation would be so peak alongside the also peak like actual story. Like it would be so perfect. That's why I beg for animes of these Hoyo games. It's like, please, man. Okay,
Faster.
we aren't going to do this skip button argument, okay? Genshin needs a skip button. It doesn't matter if it has good lore depth or story. Every single game, no matter if the story is good or shit, needs a skip button. Or should have a skip button. Having good story should not be an excuse for like ignoring the addition of a skip button.
Faster.
I've played games whose entire like main premise is understanding the story and the lore, and they have a skip button in which I skipped absolutely everything to make it to the end game. Like there's just no excuse for Genshin. My friend says Genshin shouldn't have a skip button because it has nothing else.
Faster.
I mean, technically. But still, it should have a skip button anyways. I mean, I don't know, man. I've seen some sweaty Genshin players. They go all out on the Mavwika combos, the skirt combos sometimes. I've been seeing it.
Faster.
The evolution. They've also been wheelchairing Neuvillette for like the last year or two. Yeah, for me, the biggest problems when it comes to playing Genshin again has always just been the open world exploration. Like, it was already hard. Keep in mind, I quit Genshin originally from playing Wuwa before they had flight. Like, before they had flight. Before they had the motorbike. Even then, like the movement in Wuwa was so much better than Genshin. It was enough to get me off the game and not want to play it anymore. But now the game also has flight and also has this bike. And apparently they're adding some flying mecha that we can also use somewhere in La Roy eventually for exploration as well. Like, dude. It's just so much more convenient. Nuvalet is at the point of being wheelchaired. I thought Genshin power creep wasn't bad. Well, Nuvalet can still work for like clearing endgame and shit. Like he's fine for that. But Nuvalet was never Mavwika level is a thing. Like all these newer DPSs from what I've seen, especially with the release of Columbina, like a majority of them are now, like most of the Nodcry DPSs are like Mavwika level. Before, it was like a one instance thing where there was only one DPS who was Mavwika level throughout the entirety of Notland. But now Mavwika level is like the standard for like newer characters releasing. What is the best gacha game right now? I mean, if you ask my opinion, I'll probably get it wrong because there's probably some fucking niche ass gacha out there that I'm unaware of. That's fucking, I don't know, the Holy Grail. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest, dude. Does Silver Palace count? I genuinely put this game above Wuwa currently. Outside of the combat. Wuwa takes this game easily in terms of combat. But outside of the combat, this game is really fucking good, dude. If Silver Palace doesn't count, then I'd say probably like Wuwa or ZZZ for the mainstream stuff. I'd lean towards Wuwa. Is that the honeymoon phase talking? No, like, I've genuinely paid attention to the story on this game. It's like, it has the story, it has the character design, it has everything, like the aesthetic, the world, NPCs, cutscenes, like, it's exceptional. It's just the combat. The combat is, like, pretty undercooked currently, including the camera during combat. And that's it. Like, those were my main complaints in the survey. But like you got a flying horse mount. You got this is literally their first character in the game, which has an absolutely insane design for a first character. The potential is just through the roof. I wish this wasn't a CBT. I genuinely wish this was just officially out. I'd be grinding the fuck out of this game. It would be like Wuwa all over again. When Wuwa first like officially came out, I spent like 6 hours every day, like a month straight, just playing the game and grinding with my friends. I mean, yeah, obviously the best depends on, like, person to person. I'm trying to be objective here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be objective. Because, like, of course, there's people who prefer certain things like convenience. If you prefer a gacha that's convenient but also still very easy to keep up with, like, that would be HSR for a lot of people. Or, like, whatever turn-based gacha game. But if you're looking for like real gameplay, a lot of people are gonna end up saying WoW or Silver Palace. Have you tested Arknight's Enfield beta? Nope. I did not sign up for Arknight's beta. The only beta I've ever signed up for on a game is this one. And I just got in, so like W. I've seen other games CBT ones through like videos, but I haven't played them. I'm assuming the most likely reason I was chosen for the beta probably had nothing to do with my review, but instead the spec requirements. Because I have nearly the same as the average spec requirements. So I like perfectly fit the average person. Almost every character breaks the turn-based rules in HSR. Well, that's why they don't buff Seal. Technically, this happened literally since the first character that ever released. Just being able to get an extra turn off after you kill someone, proc resurgence. That's why they're so scared of buffing her. It's too broken of a mechanic. Yeah, Uni. Enfield looked really good for me. Similar to Silver Palace, like the character models and the graphics I saw, they looked very well detailed. In fact, I'd say like Silver Palace and Arknight's characters have very like insane similarities in terms of graphic fidelity. So I'm also interested in Arknights. I heard people glaze the combat in Enfield, but when I saw like a snippet of the combat, maybe the person I was watching just blowed at the game. I didn't see anything revolutionary. If anything, it actually looked kind of underwhelming. But it was like a quick snippet I saw from someone's like early review, if I remember correctly. Who did you watch? I legit don't remember. It just popped up on my recommended. I was like, you know, I haven't really been interested in this game that much, but people in my chat talk about it from time to time. Let me check it out. And it was I don't know. Ameth can do Toon Rupture, but she can't do Toon Strain, which increases enemy, like, damage dealt to enemy. So Lene can still do that, and that's probably going to be best in slot for Ameth. But Ameth also has apparently a different team. She has two different modes. She can be Toon Break with Lene Mornai, or she can be negative status with a future sub DPS, and as well as Chisa is what the current early leaks are saying. So you could go either or. Yeah, that's true, Uni. It is a little janky, Uni, though. You aren't wrong. Like, even as someone playing it, it's janky. It has potential, but it is for sure here and there. No, I believe Ameth can respond to both rupture and strain, but she can't inflict strain. But she can do rupture, it seems, because of her set, which makes sense. She's a DPS, so she's always going to want to do rupture. Strain is for increasing the enemy's damage dealt or taken, and obviously you're never going to be using Ameth as a sub DPS. So it's like, Chisa best in slot? I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. I think once again, this is going to be a case where Chisa isn't really best in slot. And if she is, it's by like a few percentile. Which once again, you know, I mean, people got scammed if they fell for the fucking 3.x SK shit. I don't think she's going to be truly best in slot for anyone but that Electro DPS or Havoc, whatever it comes. Negative status. That means there's options instead of a package team. The thing I don't like about it, Uni, is that this time there's no free-to-play alternative. It is kind of my issue. Like, yeah, she has two teams, so the variety is there. But when you look at the free-to-play team options, they're like completely bricked. Both for Toon Break, because going from Lene to someone free-to-play will just be so shit. And then there's no Fusion Rover, because Rover is Glacio now. So obviously he has nothing to do with Ameth. So if you don't have her sub DPS, which I'd assume ends up being Sigrica, the drop-off would be insane. It's probably another Cart Chacona situation. That's my only worry when it comes to Ameth. Where's Fusion Rover going? There's no Fusion Rover. Rover is Glacio. Rover has been like changed to Glacio for a while now. So he can't go in Ameth's team. Like, at least Zanny had Spectral Rover. And Cart had Arrow Rover. But like, that's as like there's no one at all. Are you playing for Ameth? Yeah, my card account. I lost my 50-50 on Lene. So that sucks, but I mean, I don't know what's going on with Luke. Like, low-key, I found it funny at first that there were no Luke leaks. And, like, Luke people were, like, begging for stuff. But now it's, like, even wilder that basically Amos' entire kit, weapon, and echo sets have leaked. And there's still nothing about Luke. Like, it's getting pretty wild at this point. I think it's genuinely, like, a real fact. The game is focusing way more on Amos than Luke. They don't give a shit about Luke. Which makes sense. Because she is like, you know, she is like the Senrez equivalent for Lahai Roy. Like the closest you can get. But damn, dude. New arrow set. Oh, yeah. I saw there's a new echo set for an arrow damage dealer for echo skill damage. And when I saw that, you know, let's just say I'm considering retouching upon my QU1 account already. I'm already considering it. Because an arrow echo skill damage dealer, I like the sound of that. Put QU1 in there. I bet she'll get a third slot too. QU1 doesn't do much echo damage though. No, it's for using QU1 as a sub DPS with the DPS that'll probably use that set is what I'm saying. You mean to buff them? Yeah. Because like before, the reason I don't want to use QU1 with like sub DPS buffing for Prolova specifically is because even though it's worth it in Weewa, like I'd probably do something like that in Weewa, it's not really worth it in TOA. Because it's like, it's S6 QU1. Even with his free-to-play team, he can do as much damage, if not more damage than Prolova. But, considering this is a new 3.x main DPS, who will probably be stronger than everybody in 2.x, like, it's a little more safer to put my QU1 as a sub DPS in there, probably. Using S6 QU1 as a sub DPS, I mean, it's only, like, I'm not going to do it now. Because my QU1 account doesn't have enough people, right? Like, I still need to pull Kanta for my Fro. And then I'm going to run Fro and QU1 separately. But for, like, I don't know, fucking a bajillion HP inflation in the future, 3 years into the game, like, I could pair QU1 with her, and it's like, bam. I wouldn't be doing this if QU1 actually had, like, a good premium team that didn't rely on Yuno hogging all the field time. Because if you don't use, like, Yuno Chakona, like, the damage just falls off so much worse when you actually use them as a main DPS. No, it's not for QU1. QU1 doesn't even do, like, much echo skill damage. He has echo skill casting and echo skill buffing. But that's it. Or, like, echo buffing.
Faster.
He does get it on sequences at some point, though. He gets, like, some of his attacks doing echo skill damage.
Faster.
Will ice damage characters ever have a new unit? Well, if Step Leaks' roadmap isn't wrong, and it hasn't been wrong with the elements so far, I believe. If I remember correctly, it was like 3.3 is the next Glacial unit. I mean, once again, there's also Glacial Rover. You know what I'm saying? There's also Glacial Rover. Let me see. Yeah, there was a limited ice character coming in 3.3, which, by the way, should be the anniversary. Ugh. SXQ1 can sub 1 minute floor 2-4, but with Lene, it's always Lene. It's always her every single time. I can't take it anymore. Oh my goodness, man. Fucking Lene Roy. Wee. No chest? Good. Lune is superb. Dude, it's just propaganda, man. It's just fucking propaganda. It's just trippy propaganda. They're learning, man. They're learning and adapting from the Honkai Star Rail player base. The Glacio is from the Thronodian, so probably. Yeah. I thought you're a simp for generalists, not when I can't get them.
Faster.
I am like a huge glazer of generalists when I have them on my account, but if I don't have them on my account, I get mad. It's like, why, dude? Oh, you don't have the newest, strongest generalist character that power creeps everybody else in their niche? Oh, this new DPS? They use the same generalist, by the way. Oh, this DPS afterwards? Same generalist, by the way. Oh, you want to make your older character better? Use this generalist. Fuck off! I did 2 single pulls yesterday, Uni. It didn't work. And because I'm on NA for my card account, like it doesn't reset until like 2 in the morning, I think. The dailies. Yeah, like the games copy each other. HSR started going down the route of releasing more niche supports, at least for their archetype. And then Lua started making a generalist.
Faster.
Yeah, there's only like a day or something left until Linea's banner is gone. Technically, she won't be gone for too long, because she'll probably rerun on the Annie banners if they make that a consistent thing. But then it's like, you know what I'm saying, guys? Like, chest! Chest!
Keep the income flowing. We'll need it someday.
The 50-50 losses must hurt, dude. You guys don't understand, like... If it, oh my god, dude, it's so much worse for me because I also play Bleach Soul Resonance, and that game has guaranteed on everything. Like, I've been having the worst luck you can possibly have on Soul Resonance, which is going to basically soft or hard pity no matter what without ever getting an early. And I've gotten every single character with their weapon as a low spender. Oh my god. Dude. I'm a low spender on my cart account and I can't even guarantee a single limited on fucking, what's it called? 3.0. Literally the most pulls they'll ever give in a patch every single year. And it still isn't enough. Like, I want to throw rocks at my walls, dude. Pan Woowa. Woowa is so greedy. Does Silver Palace have an artifact system?
Riding a horse is quite different than a carriage ride.
I think Silver Crafts. Where are they? Yeah. Actually, is this even a relic? I'm not sure. But no, like, I don't think they have a normal relic system at all. At least not right now. They have weapons. The characters level up. Once again, weapons. And then they just have the kit. There's nothing for relics here. I'm not gonna lie, like, a big part towards, like, how annoying it is to lose 50/50s in WUA, and why I don't complain about it as much in HSR, is the fact it's an open world game. Like, I put in way more effort when it comes to open world games to get the pulls, and then I still don't get what I want, so it leaves, like, a more sour taste in my mouth. Meanwhile, HSR, like, I've literally just been AFKing and putting shit on auto for like the last month and a half, and my Cassie account is up to like 90 pulls. So that also plays an aspect in how much I get pissed. It's like, imagine someone sitting on their ass and getting paid like $3,000 a month, and then someone doing like fucking hard ass labor and they get paid the exact same. Like, it just don't feel good, man.
Faster.
Well, yeah, Wua's combat is for sure like one of the main things that entices people to keep playing. It's probably the same for me, to be honest. If Wuwa didn't have like fun rotations, animations, like combat, intro skill stuff, I'd probably have quit the game a long time ago. Because it doesn't have story. It's like, if you don't have story or combat, like, at that point, why am I even playing, dude? Same, Uni. Like, a big reason why I was able to get into HSR as a turn-based game, when most other turn-based games I don't really fuck with, is because HSR at least has, like, the animations for it. For a turn-based game, those animations, they're fucking diabolical, man. Like, they are really good. It's like best of both worlds. But I wouldn't normally play, like, any turn-based game. I wish I could ride this car. I mean, Wuwa has good character designs. But, like, I think it has... Like, no offense. I know people hate when people bring up this argument for, like, a lot of the Hoyo games. But it's just a fact. If the Hoyo devs decided to make a new gacha game, same engine as Wuwa, and copy the art style, they could probably make the characters way more detailed. And outside of that, like, also have better story and shit. Like, I think that's a real thing. Because, like, it's so common. This has been happening for, like, the last, like, literally since Wuwa released.
Faster.
Where people compare, like, the Wuwa models to, like, Genshin and HSR. But it's like, dude, Genshin and HSR are on a, like, they're on a worse engine. And the engine has had, like, way less work on it. Like, if you've seen the teaser for Hoyo's future, like, fantasy game, which is the first game they've bothered at all to do realistic graphics on, if I remember correctly, that shit looks like it's going to be the next Elden Ring, dude. Like, they have the capability for it. They just really haven't given a shit. Varaspura? No, not Varaspura. Not Varaspura. That one also has, like, a huge leap in graphics, though. But no. It's the one with the teaser of, like, the world and the tree glowing. Like, it's really, like, Wuwa has the advantage with its engine as compared to HSR and Genshin, in my opinion. And that's just always going to be a thing. Unless they end up fucking, like, updating the engine for HSR and Genshin, obviously. Same way you heard, he said if Saint heard you, he'd crash out. I mean, it's just the truth, in my opinion. Like, Wuwa designs are sick. They're cool. But, like, it goes back to, once again, presentation versus actual depth. Like, I like a lot of Wuwa character designs. But I feel like another company like Hoyo could 100% replicate it, if not make better ones more consistently.
Faster.
Because they're just more knowledgeable about it. They've been in the game longer. You know what I'm saying? And Hoyo doesn't just stop at anime games. Like, they literally want to conquer everything. I don't exactly blame Kuro for it. It's just a reality. Like, Hoyo are sweats in terms of grinding their asses off to learn how to do almost everything. Because they just want to make as much money as possible. They could afford sweat more in other aspects. But yeah. Like, keep in mind, it's not like I'm trying to hate on Wuwa. Like, you guys have heard me literally in this stream say, if I had to choose between, like, what's the best gacha game right now, in my opinion, I'd lean more towards Wuwa if we don't include Silver Palace. Like, I love the game. I find it fun as shit. I'm playing it way more than any of the other Hoyo games currently, but it's like, I could 100% see if Hoyo tried to replicate Wuwa, they could probably do it better. That's all I'm going to say. There's also the other thing of, like, does Hoyo even want to improve their graphics engine that much? Because, like, you need to keep in mind, let's say for HSR, right? They fucking upgraded the engine so insanely to the point where the models and everything could now compete with WUA, let's say, right? In terms of graphic fidelity and quality. Do they want to do that? Because then what's going to happen? The game is going to be significantly larger and harder for devices to run. And I think Hoyo is more cautious of doing graphical upgrades on some of their gacha games because they know it's going to filter some of the mobile player base. Like, that's a real worry. Like, if you look at WUA right now, that shit is significantly more difficult to run as compared to some shit like Genshin or HSR. But on top of that, it's taking up, like, dude, it's taking up so much more space. Actually, let me see how much space HSR is taking up right now on my iPad. I've seen that quite consistently for most people. WUA is like 50 to 57 gigs on mobile. So if I go here, storage, HSR takes up 27 gigs. That's half. That's literally half. And HSR is like a year older than WUA. You deleted files though? No. I legit re-downloaded HSR without doing the delete past mission resources thing like a week ago.
Faster.
I mean, there's a chance it maybe just auto does it these days. So if they auto did it while it was downloading, because I wasn't paying attention to the download maybe. HSR is turn-based? It doesn't matter. Like, HSR is constantly stressing its engine to the fucking max. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but they literally stressed it to the max when it came to Phanon. They said the reason Phanon goes into a departed state and old teammates are kicked out wasn't on purpose. It's just that the game wouldn't work having old characters on the team in his field while also having him be able to do all his shit. So they ended up adding the departed state as an excuse for it. Like, they are pushing their engine to the absolute max. So if they gave the game like a graphical update and like everything became more detailed and obviously takes up more space and shit, like the size would increase exponentially just because of the animation quality on a lot of characters. Also, HSR actually has like a lot of it's not open world, but it has a lot of land at this point because of the planets. Every single planet has like 10 plus areas, and they're all decently sizable. No, I haven't, Spartan. I'm going to watch The Seventh Prince again soon. Because I just finished reading Chain Soldier. I need my fucking monthly dose of Shota. Because they barely exist. Playing Arcadia looks huge from what I've seen. Yeah, they also fucking upgraded the water. I actually saw that. So they raised... Hoyo slightly raised the requirements for playing the game recently. and people were wondering why. But if you look at like the leaked map for Planet Arcadia on the Reddit, the water is insanely detailed. I don't know why they care about the water, but the water looks good, man. Looks good. Chain Soldier, yeah. I caught up entirely on the manga within like a week. Oh damn, Uni, that sounds bad. Hope you get better soon. Good night. Bro's the biggest gooner? Yup. Goonie Morrow. That's why I'm watching The Seventh Prince. Most of the times, like very often, I will read or watch things just because I find a character attractive or multiple characters. It's pretty easy. Wait, can I go on the tracks? You can't.
The city that crushed the air out of us has...
Read Dragon's Maid? I will after I finish The Seventh Prince, probably. What's the poll count? Poll count? What poll count? You will goon while reading. I don't usually do that. But sure. We... Oh. Let me see. Alright. Had to charge my thing. I forgot. Plain Arcadia looks good compared to the preview. Yeah, some places look like Penacony, but there are also some creative places too. Oh, 100%. It was like insanely over exaggerated how Penacony like Plain Arcadia was, because we only got a screenshot of like one area. And I was also like thinking about this, and so I didn't really speak about it. But like, dude, every single planet has like a bajillion different areas. It's never only one. Like this is only one. So when people actually explored the different areas, it's like, oh shit, this is nothing like Penacony. Like, it legit functions nowhere near the same. There are some spots where they can look similar, I guess, but that's basically as far as it goes. No, this game does have a gacha system, but it's not in this beta test. There's no gacha. At least for now. But it should be in live. I already have I've already found a site with no ads that has both manga and manhwa alike, all English translated. So I just use that instead.
Wait.
HSR the most Doom posted game? I mean, the majority of the Doom posting I saw for HSR wasn't even really from HSR players. It was from Genshin. Like, at least when I was scrolling Twitter and I'd like just lurk and see all the entire shit going on, it was mostly just the Genshin players making fun of the game for making the most money but having the least investment put into it. Yeah, people make HSR a target even amongst the Hoyo games just because it makes the most money. It's basically how it goes. Yeah. Like, you can't really fuck up HSR. It's like trying to fuck up a grilled cheese. Like, you need to, like, fuck up as bad as possible for it to actually fuck up. HSR is just way too convenient. Nobody even, like, here's the thing, right? When you go outside of social media, nobody actually cares about, like, characters wanting their weapons or having best in slot teammates. Like, for most people, it's just completely normal. They either accept it or they genuinely just don't care. And they keep pulling characters they like. It's only on social media where, like, it's such a big topic of, like, oh my god, I need fucking a bajillion free-to-play weapons for every single new path. Otherwise, this game is bricked. Of course, it's a net positive if it is implemented. But people acting like they're going to quit the game over it and then never quit. It's like, bro. Like, for example, I had someone immediately comment when we got the first leaks for, like, Sparksy and Yao Guang that the game is going down a bad route because there's no free-to-play light cones for Elation. One, it's literally the first patch of the 4.0. 2, they both have free-to-play Lycones. Sparksy's isn't as good, because I believe it's a 3-star one, but Yao Guang literally has like a 4-star Lycone that increases elation damage taken by enemies. So it's like, they both have free-to-play options. I mean, the problem with Wuwa weapons, and like, I've talked about this before, people, when it comes to like HSR and stuff, they compare it to 4-star, right? It's almost always limited versus 4-star, and that's as far as it goes when people use it as a standard. But when it comes to Wuwa, it's like a standard to use standard weapon versus limited. Now, one, Wuwa has already reached the point, compared to other games, where standard to limited weapon can reach 30 to 40% stronger, right? That is just absurd, because compared to 4-star, it's like 50 to 60%, which surpasses basically any other game I'm aware of, right? But then also on top of this is like, not everybody has standard weapons. Like, let's be honest, not everybody's gonna have the standard weapon for every single character. It's not as easily obtainable as the 4-star ones. So it's harder to get all standard weapons for your characters, and the limited weapons are just way stronger at the same time. Like, from what I've seen, like even among Wuwa players, like when I bring up the weapon thing, what people will say, even outside of the standard thing, oh, you can use String Master for Pelova, right? Like, these people will stoop to the level of using another character's limited weapon compared to a newer character's limited weapon, and then say the jump isn't that big. Like, this is like me using Phaenon's Lycone and like its general use among old destruction characters. A new destruction character releases, their Lycone is like 10% better than Phaenon's. Oh my god. This game is so free to play friendly, guys. Look at that. Phaenon's Lycone is still so usable. Like, what? Because keep in mind, like, Phaenon's Lycone is really broken, by the way, guys. It is really broken. It's best in slot for Firefly. It's usable by basically every single destruction character. It's easily Phaenon's best in slot, better than his Eidolons after E2. It's like a busted Lycone. I'd rather have a over Doom posted than an over Glaze game. That's literally just HSR versus WUA. And I'd completely agree. Even though Doom posting can for sure get out of hand, like, a lot of the time it comes from people's genuine, like, caution of things the game has done previously. But when it comes to WUA, it's like a constant ignorance of what's actually going on and trying to paint out everything as positive, which leads to a lot of complaints being silenced for the game, which is way more annoying. It's like, one is simply wanting better for the player, and the other is trying their hardest to defend the company that's making hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, come on, dude. The side is obvious in my opinion. I mean, it depends what you consider Doom posting. Because if you look at the entire 3.x character roster, none of them are actually going to be good for 4.x. They can be alternatives. But, like, the Doom posting makes sense. Like, characters in HSR just don't last that long unless you're either a generalist support or you're just an incredibly strong DPS that can carry you for a while. Like, Cyrene Doom posting is 100% valid, and people are going to realize this. This happens every single time, right? People are going to realize this mid 4.x. Cyrene is in best in slot for anyone. She's a noticeable drop-off as compared to using other supports. She's really only for the Amphorius units, so she's just not going to have value going into the future. She's tied to your Chrysos heirs. That's always going to be a thing. If you're satisfied by that, that's fine. But she is not at all going to be a good pull for the future. Not in the slightest. I mean, no offense, but, like, I was kind of talking about this, like, I think a few days ago. Sparkle with her new buffing is probably stronger than Cyrene for Phaenon. And I'm not trolling. If it weren't for her buffs disappearing when Phaenon goes into the second wave, Sunday plus Sparkle would probably be stronger for Phaenon as compared to using Cyrene. Because her buffing is just that strong now. And because of her increased SP positivity, you'd literally never run out of skill points when doing Phaenon's rotation to build ult up again. And that's not even a new unit, by the way. That's a buff Sparkle. That's not an actually, like, new hyper carry buffer, which makes it even more insane. Where's the comparison? Cyrene is made to be best in slot for specifically only the Chrysos heir. Yet a Sparkle can beat Cyrene after being buffed, just from pure power creeping kit and buffing. She can beat Cyrene for Phanon. She can probably beat Cyrene for maybe even Aglaia, to be honest. I'm pretty sure Aglaia also didn't get that much big of a jump. Like, unless you're in the big three, the big four of being buffed by Cyrene, you can genuinely use Sparkle and she'll be competitive with Cyrene, which is just kind of sad. And now Black Swan's getting a buff, so Cyrene isn't best in slot for Heistlands anymore either. I forgot about that. Like, it's literally only a select few characters who actually have her as a best in slot. Like, this is why I always tell people, like, please make sure, you know, if you truly don't care about meta, that you don't care about it. Because I promise you, this character isn't going to age well. That's going to be Cyrene. She's going to age terribly. It's not about the buffs, Alum. It's about the fact that she can make Phanon infinitely ult. Which means there's absolutely no downtime to re-triggering his ult. Which in the end ended up making her stronger as compared to using Sunday plus like Branya and like shit like that. Like, she was stronger nonetheless. And even more so if you use something like Lycone. But now she isn't. Not for Phanon, not for Heistlands, probably not for Aglaia either. So there's only like half of the Chrysos heir DPSs left. Now I regret skipping. I mean, technically I wasn't wrong. They had to literally give Sparkle the most broken hyper carry kit by a mile to actually make her good value. Like, I didn't expect her to ever get this insane level of a buff. Cyrene, the hottest character in HSR? No, it's Sparkle. Yeah, Sunday can still be used really well with Phanon. I will say outside of Phanon... Well, actually, no. Also, Aggie. Sunday with Aggie and Sunday with Phanon, like, replacing Sunday with Cyrene isn't that big of a jump. Like, there's a jump, but it just isn't significant, really. So, Sunday for those two DPSs specifically still 100% has value if you already own him. Anyone else, though? Not really. No, it's literally just in terms of overall performance. It's not even just pure raw damage. Like, beta testers have already done the calculations themselves. Cyrene is at max, like, a 15 to 20% upgrade for Phanon. At max. And Phanon just has way better other investment to go into as compared to something like Cyrene, where it's like, to be honest, you don't really consider it. The only time I'd say it comes in handy if you're doing sustainless anomaly arbitration. That's probably the only time I can ever see Cyrene being like a, you know, near must-have pull, if that's something you want to do. No, I know Alum. That's what I'm saying. If Sparkle's buffs were always up for Phanon, she would be a stronger character for Phanon than Cyrene. But because they break the way her buffs work and they just disappear entering to a new wave, it doesn't work. But if it weren't for that, like anybody else who isn't Phanon takes full advantage of this buff, which is incredibly strong. And it's not only Cyrene that this is happening to. It's also happening to Ceridra. Like, according to HOS, Sparkle can actually replace Ceridra and achieve comparable performance with Cyrene, just because of how much better her buffing is. And especially how strong her E2 is if you end up deciding to go for that. Because Sparkle's E2 is now 32% defense reduction. Or defense shred. Don't remember which one.
Faster.
Double skill is good though. Oh my god. Everybody's brain rotted by double skill, man. Everybody's brain rotted. It's so easy to power creep a double skill with Phanon because his counters do so much damage. I know it looks flashy. I know it looks cool. But the double skill does not add as much as you guys think it does. It can easily be power crept by just stronger buffing. Let's say you use a Ceridra, your meteor does 1 million, and then the counter does 400k, right? That's a 600k damage difference. You replace Cyrene, you use Sparkle full buffs being able to be used, and now your meteors not only do more damage, but your counters do more damage, right? Let's say you're now doing 1.25 million per meteor, and you're doing like 5 to 600k per counter, right? After a meteor and like 2 attacks, you basically make up for the damage of an extra meteor from Ceridra. That's the problem with her double skill. It's cool, it's a mechanic, and it's nice, especially for some zero cycles where you want to like burst the double skill quickly. But it can just easily be power crept by just stronger buffers, which is unfortunate, but it's just a thing. I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, Robin had at least like the Anoxa sweats parroting her a lot. It was like, oh, if you run fucking Eagle set Anoxa, like sweatiest relic build, sweatiest gameplay, used Robin. That's like the peak of his ceiling. But because Anoxa benefited so much from Cyrene, that just doesn't apply anymore. Guy basically has Cyrene as a must pull for how much it changes his damage. And Anoxa, unlike Phanon, can actually re-trigger Sparkle's buffs, which means Sparkle can also be like a usable alternative if you don't have Ceridra for Anoxa alongside Cyrene.
Faster.
Which is really good, by the way. Especially, like, I know it's expensive, but I'd say for Anoxa specifically, it's the most worth it to consider over any other DPS of getting E2 Sparkle. Because that shit is 32% defense shred. If I remember correctly, like an E0S1 or an E1S1 Anoxa can reach like 70 to 80% defense shred. So alongside an E2 Sparkle, you hit 100%. Your damage skyrockets. Like, it's insane. Her E1 is also an attack buff, which he also really loves, I believe. Like, he loves everything she gives. Res pen, vulnerability. Like, it just never ends. Alright, chat. I will end the stream here. It's now 1 in the morning. I'm going to do my thing. Catch up on my manhwa. End up rewatching The Seventh Prince. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you have a great night. And